Hello and welcome to another episode of Design Under Influence. I'm your host, Alex. I am co-founder of ArcIT. We help architecture, design, and engineering companies with their IT so they can focus on just running their business, creating beautiful buildings, running amok with AI, whatever. We take care of IT, security, safety, that kind of stuff. Here with me, my co-hosts, Liz and Megan. They're with Aurora BIM. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. Maybe you can do a quick, like, 2-second pitch of what you guys do.
Sure. We help small to medium architecture and structural firms navigate the BIM world.
Perfect. On the spot.
There it
Nailed
is.
it.
Okay, so we have been doing a lot of shows or multiple shows on various subjects along the BIM, innovations around BIM, and transitioning into new systems that will make design more efficient and effective for everybody, help you make more money and stuff like that. But today we're also, I would say, on the bleeding edge of experimentation with AI and how artificial intelligence can help us continue to improve and grow our businesses. And I'm learning a lot from you guys when we have these conversations off camera. And we're conducting a lot of experience here internally, so experiments. So what I wanted to do is put this show together with you where we can share what we are doing right now, what's working, and what I guess what we wish would be working, but it's not yet working. So maybe Megan, do you want to like start us up? I know it's just give us an like what have you done lately with AI that you've been impressed with?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I would kind of like to lay the foundation a little bit, go back in time to what a year and a half ago when
So
when
long
like
ago.
oh my God, so long ago. Like that I think AI has really basically released the floodgates in a way for entrepreneurs to be able to be entrepreneurs. If I had not had ChatGPT or Gemini in the beginning of the creation of Aurora BIM, I would have been stuck under and or had to hire someone to do a bunch of writing of our proposals, our contracts, all of that stuff in the beginning that was an evolving like huge long conversations with ChatGPT, trying to get it perfect, evolving it as we got new clients with new needs, writing emails, all of the things that just take time really have been expedited to a point where like I think it saved us years. Like I
hmm
think in a pre-AI we would be where we're at in about 5 years from now.
Pretty
So
impressive.
I think
That's
that's
quite a report
huge.
card. Wow.
I mean, it's huge. It really has impacted our ability to be business owners. Liz, would
hmm
you agree?
Totally.
Yeah.
Completely.
So
Well,
we
and
could
also just
go
to
ahead.
I would just to build on that to consume as well, because there's so much info coming back at us from clients, from contractors, from the world, and to be able to also use the AIs to help us consume that, like summarize it and just give us the points we need is, yeah, priceless,
Yeah.
basically.
And like the other, I mean, the big, so jumping into the AI tools we use, like the big one that we implemented pretty early on was a note taker. Actually, I think we saw your note taker. We saw another note taker from another company that we were working with. She was also a small firm, and it was Fathom AI. And so now it's a note taker that follows us into every meeting. It provides summaries and notes, and it's a database that we can go in later and ask questions to. And if we forget, something that was done in the meeting, we can always go back and ask or click on a clip, basically like a summary item, and it takes us right back to that part of the meeting. Those we found our clients really like those as well. You can take the summaries and put them into ChatGPT and create like an agenda for the next meeting or action items or all of those things. None of this we didn't do any of this like
Mhm.
4 years ago. And with as many clients as we have now and all of the calls, like there's just no way that like I don't know, there's no way that I could keep it all straight between all of the different clients and all of the different information and setups, and every client is unique. So that's a big one. I mean, ChatGPT, Gemini, email assistants, what
Sure.
else?
So those are the stuff that we're currently using. Let me go through what we are using. And so people are watching this and listening to this may be able to relate. I have two businesses, and I want to talk about both because it's important where that AI comes in handy from your main street retail. I have an outdoor retail shop, fishing shop, where that comes in, and Arc IT, which is, IT management firm, right? MSP provider, managed service provider. So on the managed service provider stuff, I mean, Fireflies is what we use. I think it's similar to Fathom. And besides just recording calls and summaries and stuff like that, which is super useful, you're right. You have a thread of documentation leading all the way to your client relationship. What you and I talked about is how do we connect all these threads together? Because right now we have that info scattered everywhere, right? Your Fathom has client notes, your CRM has notes, your Excel spreadsheet has some new entries, like, right? It's just everywhere. And then your invoice, it's going out. That's a completely different system. And they're not all talking. So let's put a peg on this one because that's the ultimate, be able to connect all that. But to connect something, you have to have it. And I think we're already on step one, collecting all that data. But one thing that may not be very impactful to you yet, I don't know how many employees you have, but one of the things we're doing is when our manager has one-on-one coaching sessions with the team every week, those are recorded. And what we're building is a database of those conversations over quarter. So when we put a quarterly review for a team member to give them, hey, here's all the great things you've done. Here's all the great opportunities that you should do. Here's the stretch goals. Here's the real goals. Here's your bonus. Here's your here's your next, here's what your career path is going to look like. So that in those hour-long conversations, a lot of that intelligence, a lot of that information that will never, like a human person would not go and read 100 pages of conversations. So that is I think it's going to be a big addition to improve quality of feedback to our employees, which will improve our employees. Okay.
Well, and also it's an unbiased feedback.
Well, it depends how you ask. That's an interesting one. It depends how you ask
it. That is true. We ran into that today too, didn't we, Megan?
Yes.
It's all about that prompt engineering. All right. So if you go to ChatGPT and say, here's my conversations with John over the last 30 days, 90 days. I want to be able to fire John tomorrow.
Yeah.
Give me reasons.
Yeah. It's going to find it. No, but then it's like in order, because I used to dabble in the HR field too in previous companies. And I would say then it would be like, okay, we just set up a company standard prompts to get this. So it's always the same words you use to get this, the same secret sauce. But then you can get more of a unbiased summary of something instead of just, me trying to fire John and looking for reasons.
So we're not just looking for what ChatGPT is going to spit out. What the manager is going to be doing is using her judgment and have those bullet points or opportunities, maybe not really something that hasn't surfaced for the manager. The manager has 8 people under them. They can only have so much time, but this will help them compile that review. So typically employee reviews, the reason why small companies don't conduct them and bigger companies conduct them, but it's the most painful process. This is most painful time in everybody's life. The manager, the employee, the owners, it's all waste of time. It's a grand, giant waste of time. Everybody hates it. But it's necessary. Right? Because it just sucks. But what doesn't suck is when, as an employee, my boss knows intimately what my goals, aspirations are, how well have I done, and gives me actual things to work on. Mm-hmm. That to me is of massive value, right, as an employee. And so what we'll do is, I guess it's a very long-winded way to say, we'll shortcut the icky part of the process to get to a really effective outcome. That was a long-winded way to say that we use Note Taker too.
Yeah.
Which Note Taker?
Fireflies.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry, I thought it was a different one.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I mean, I think similar functionality. What it is just follows you in every meeting and stuff like that.
Yeah. What I've been talking about is like and Liz found a solution that apparently there's like a little thing you can wear around your neck, because at the end of the day, so I mean, AEC firms, you see this all the time, and even for you guys, you have to log your day by the hour, if not sometimes by the half an hour, in order to get paid. So all that time needs to get divided up and put into the right buckets. And like doing that at the end of the day, just for me, never happens. Liz has become disciplined and she can do it, but like I'm also been enabled by another AI tool called Timely that you install in your machine. You tell it you link it to your Google Calendar, your Teams, and your Microsoft calendars, and then it basically records during your day all the things that you touch on your computer. And then you can start to tell it, you say, this is project A, B, C, D, and you throw the first couple of chunks of time into those projects and it learns, and then it actually starts to anticipate your time and put it in the right buckets. So if you do it right and you program it right, it creates your time card for the end of the day, which is really nice.
Does it work?
Yeah.
It works pretty well.
Yep.
But it's crap in, crap out. So you have to
It's
spend the
I
time
need
to
to
teach it.
organize it. Yeah, I've got to organize it now based on like more, like I just had clients, so it would be like, okay, I worked for this client, but now it needs to be client and project. So I've got to go in there and like organize so that it's got the right buckets. But then we were looking for like there is a way to export data from there to go directly into our invoicing software, which would be amazing. But the part that's missing on that is that it is not listening to my conversation right now or integrated with Fathom. So if there was like some way to tie those two together, so like I'm in a meeting, it knows what I'm talking about, it remembers all of the things I said I was going to do throughout the day as like my action items, right? Like it's kind of like a personal assistant that I'm envisioning that's following me, that helps me log my time, but also it reminds me about all the things that I talked about on all these calls, because I get up at like, 6 a.m. By 7 a.m. I've had like 2 or 3 calls, and then I'm on calls until like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. every day. By the end of that, my brain is mush and I can't remember what I said. I can't remember who I told I was going to do what for. If I have time
Mm-hmm.
in between, I'll log tasks and I'll log, action items and things, or Liz and I will get on a call and we'll just have like a working call, which we decided works really well to just get stuff done. But like it's becoming, the volume of work is starting to surpass, I think, like a single person's ability to handle it. And I
Yeah.
think it's because we have the AI that we have this problem, but I think AI also needs to be able to come in and help us solve it.
Solve it. Yeah. Yeah. And we talked also, like prompts, or even if it's the recorder you wear around you, or if it's just every so often, if Timely was like, hey, you're not in a meeting, what are you doing? And then you could
Mm-hmm.
answer it like, I'm working on this, that it maybe once an hour, every half an hour. So we have lots of ideas for improving it. And then also with our colleagues that we work with and our contractors, we don't want to chase them down and get their status update. But if they were
No.
prompted every day at a specific time where it was like, hey, what'd you do today and what are you doing tomorrow? And they just answered it instead of us, and that gets recorded somewhere, then we can just go look at that.
Liz, that would be amazing. Like, can you imagine if we just said, what are you working on today? What do you plan to work on tomorrow? And then it fills in this like time sheet, what every employee is working on. Are we working on the things we need to be working on and making progress on the priority items? Why is so and so working on this when we need all hands on deck on this?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me run an analogy by you. You know how I love those. And then it's just to go back real quick to what you were just talking about. I just finished new utilization policy, time utilization policy, because we are, IT firm. We're required to work on IT issues. And so 80% of our tech's time, available time per day, engineer's time, is required to be, not required, but it's the upper goal target for them to get their bonus. They have to use 80% of their time working on customer tickets or internal tickets that are related to customer projects. No, the point being is that they have to go into the ticket, right? Open the ticket, the clock starts, they doing their work, they close the ticket, the clock stops. And that's kind of easy to do.
That
It's
sounds nice.
not complicated. But they still have to fill out their time card at the end of it, which is a painful
So painful.
process, and we're seeing some challenges there. But let me run an analogy by you. So I feel like starting a business is like running, in a bathing suit in on beautiful Hawaii on the beach. Okay, so it's like running on the beach, but you're running towards water. Okay,
Mm.
so like imagine like maybe a year and a half ago, that's where you like all right, running towards water. Yeah, it's so exciting. Then you're starting to get into the water. And this is where all of the stuff begin like, oh, you need accounting. Oh, you need to pay taxes. Oh, you need to bill this client.
You start running
Oh, I had a
slower.
great conversation with the client, but they promised me to introduce me to the next client. So I got to remember not to follow up with them about that introduction. But so you're just entering the water, right? So you're entering the water, you're still kind of hopping, it's still fun. And then the surf starts coming in, and then eventually you go neck deep, and eventually you start swimming and it's super inefficient, and that's it. And then you're not having fun anymore. You're just kind of
What?
fighting the waves. You get thrown around. You're like, man, I just want to be
Wait,
an employee.
is there
Someone
like a
needs to get
lifeboat
him
or
a
something that's
surfboard or
coming?
something, dude.
It was easy. It used to be easy. What the heck happened? I'm
Maybe
mired
they.
here in all this BS, and I feel it. I feel
Mm,
it every day. And I'm almost angry at AI. Its inability to solve this right now.
yeah.
It's pretending to be so intelligent, and I think it is. I think it's got a lot of that capability in it. But the way it fails on basic things is still frustrating.
Mm,
I'm still, wobbling in the water. I'm not seeing it. Like, I think it's doing a great job. So for marketing, like I can talk about what it's doing, and it's like you said 3 years ago, I had to have a full-time person doing this. What it's doing right now in a matter of me prompting for 15 minutes a day. But
Yeah.
outside of that, it's just all this disjointed, all these disjointed systems. Like I just want to spend my time on figuring out how to grow the business, test, experiment with all these ideas, talk to customers, be out on trade
mm.
shows, be out in customer offices, figuring, I mean, that's what I want to do. What I end up doing is clocking my time, just documenting conversations, writing policy, making sure the policy is being followed, writing specific documentation on what we'll do when people don't follow the policy, and escalations, and what happens. First write up, then we're gonna do second write up, whatever, right? So it's like HR, finance, accounting, customer relationship, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Have you
Had
heard of like those? There's like they are selling those AI where it's like your AI assistants and you have
for
one for each
different,
one
I
of
was just
those.
about to bring that up.
Have
Yeah.
you? I haven't heard of anyone who's worked with them. If it like, can you train them and to actually do that, and then they hang out over here and listen to your day, and then chime in when you need to answer a question? Like, I don't understand how that like actually even
Yeah.
works. No,
Yeah,
we need
I
to test
don't
it.
know. So this is the whole concept of right now, the functionality of AI right now is what they call agentic, which is agents, and this is exactly so. Timely is an agent, right?
Right.
It sits there, and just does one particular thing, but it's still very far from this being useful. And I'm sure maybe some larger companies have a little bit better way for them to have AI sit on their server, the LLM sit on their server and then being trained on their data. But larger companies are too slow and too risk averse, right? So they're probably not
Hmm.
doing a good job either.
I think that though, because it's some fire right now, and everyone's like, get on board or you're screwed kind of thing. I think that the large companies are putting a lot of money into these initiatives. And I think that is why we are seeing AI grow so fast, because I think the large companies are on board.
But on
Yeah.
board meaning they dedicate resources, but
Tentatively
they
on
don't
board.
expect
Yeah.
much out of
No.
it, you know? Let's
Right.
just face it. It's that. But
Yeah.
the customer service chats became a lot more smarter.
They did.
How much did you hate talking to automated
So
chat
Freaking
much.
hate it. Terrible.
a year ago, right? It was
Zero, zero. I just put zero. Give me a
absolutely
person.
useless. Like
Agent.
that was a doornail. If you need a company's address, it can give it to you.
Yeah.
If you
Right.
need a company's but if you need to contact somebody, you know, it won't let you. So anyway, it was the dumbest thing ever. I don't understand how people even thought this was useful. But now
It's much better.
you
Yeah.
it it actually can search its knowledge base. It can make some inferences and you can write in plain English with mistakes of what's going
Yeah.
on with
Mm-hmm.
your particular problem, and it actually understands and either points you the right direction, right article. Like that's very impressive. So I think that's one thing that's working right now
Yeah.
in customer
I mean,
service.
I think so. We're also finding ways to, like for us, like being consultants, like we do a lot of teaching and training as well as part of like our deliverable for clients. And I think the other part that I'd like to see gain abilities is the ability to make like images and infographics and like slide decks and things like that. And I've tried out a couple different softwares. I forget what the one was called, but like they could create a presentation for you really quickly, or like, you know, or even a PowerPoint, like a slide deck or a PowerPoint. And it would just be like, you put in your ideas, you tell it whether you want generic images or clip art or whatever. And it would push this like beautiful presentation out for you to then tweak and edit, which I think that's something that I've always really it's been difficult for me, even in like, I remember in college, to come up with like my own outline and like my own document versus
Mm-hmm.
come in and help someone else and tweak something that's already there is like a whole other ball game. So I think that is
Totally.
something that like having these tools to get you 90-85% of the way there, and then you tweak it and make it what it needs to be, and then let it do a little finesse at the end. I think that they're doing really well with that. And I'm excited. I started trying out Nano Banana, the
Oh
added
yeah. Oh yeah.
for
What's
Gemini.
that?
That's pretty killer, man. That's what made
It
me sign up for the pro.
really?
Gemini. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah. So like Liz, it will do, that's the one that like just got released that does like way better infographics than what
Okay.
like DALL-E or just like regular ChatGPT has been able to do. If you ask ChatGPT to build you a slide deck, it's crap.
Yeah.
It's like text like not aligned in the center of the page. It's like it's a
Mm-hmm.
mess. But if you add in Nano Banana and ask it to do it, it's pretty good. The text that goes on it still has those weird like blocked out pieces, the little black, like the text
Mm-hmm.
in the image still is messed up, but it's much better than it ever was.
Okay.
So they're getting
Interesting.
there.
Yeah. It's impressive. But I can tell
It
you
is.
let me just convey my particular observation with how limited current platforms LLMs are with data processing. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if you want, remember our dream, right? You actually articulated the dream really well last time we spoke, Megan. You said, I want something, I want a tool that just has everything in one place. And right, all of my business from invoices to HR files to customer conversations captured to my calendar, everything right in one place, and everything's running and everything's searchable. And okay, good. I want that too, very badly. But the data part is not there yet. And I think that's where a lot of things right now fall apart. And let me give you an example. So for my shop in Napa, I've uploaded 12 months of sales history, line by line. It was 5,000 times. It was about 40,000 lines, okay, of what was sold, UPC, date it was sold, what's the cost, what's the price, confirm margin, and it's like a lot of data. And it was so happy taking it. It's like, "Yeah, give me more." And I'm like, okay, great. And because I couldn't export it because I only have 5,000 fields, 5,000 lines limit for my analytics to export it. So anyway, I had to do every 2 months. So it's like, oh, I'll stitch. So it stitched all the data, multiple exports. Like, yeah, I can see all your data. Here's your revenue. Here's your margin. And I said, okay, exclude this, exclude, and then it's like everything's fine. Great. I'm like, dude, I'm paying $200 a month for analytics to sit on top of my point of sale system to help me making orders, right? To help me with intelligence about creating orders. Because this is very important for retail, for a lot of businesses, that data is key, right? So here's the set data. Help me infer what I need to bring next couple of weeks for us to not run out of stuff, but also not overbuy. It's not that complicated, but there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of other parameters that can go into it outside of just basic analytics stuff. Because the way analytics works is like you sold 3, you have 2, therefore you need 1.
Right. Now, you did this last month, and I think you might need 5 more to keep up with the demand from last
right.
month.
What about seasonality? Right?
Yeah.
Big time, right? It's Christmas time now. It's completely different. So look at last December, not yesterday, not last week. What about what's called phantom demand? You know what phantom demand is?
No.
Tell me.
Okay. Phantom demand is I brought it 2, I sold 2 in the next 2 days, and then for a month I didn't have another, didn't have it replenished. So it's not like I need to order 2 in a month. It's like I need to order 8 because we could have sold 8 more of these gadgets given the sales velocity, but because we're out of stock, you can't sell something that's out of stock.
Got it.
Anyway, it's all retail stuff. So I was so freaking excited. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to cancel my analytics. That's it. I don't need any of that crap. I'm going to just Gemini and I, we're gonna do it all. So I said, okay, let's put an order together for Yeti. You guys know Yeti, right?
Yeah.
Yeti, yeah.
The cups and the coolers.
Yeah, the coolers. And it's like, I'm like, all right, based on the information you have everything in phantom demand. Like, give me an order for Yeti. Like, it spits out an order for like $40,000. I'm like, dude, my budget is $1,200. I'm like, okay, so that's, and then it tells me, oh, you're severely limiting your ability to like. I'm like, okay, is whatever. So here's my budget. All right, push it $2,000. Okay, next. The problem is like what it started doing is it started to just give me stuff based on my last year's, but some of the stuff, you know how Yeti like changes colors and discontinues, and I'm like, I can't order that stuff because it's last year's. It wouldn't be. So then I said, okay, let me upload Yeti's catalog so you can see more data, and then let me upload our current inventory on hand. Anyway, by the time I'm done uploading everything, the thing is like, yeah, ready to go. So it spits out the order and it's missing like UPCs. And then I tell it, okay, you got to put UPCs. How am I going to order it if there's no, anyway, so it's what you really need to do. It's like a child that is extremely smart and like a genius, but it has no idea how life works.
Yeah.
And so the problem is you have to, and that's where the programming comes in, right? You have to program in the parameters that you need for it to go and evaluate for you for whatever project it is. And each project has different parameters, different requirements. And you also need to let it know what to consider as your limitations.
Yeah.
And so after this like exhaustive 2.5 hours, we got the Yeti order done. But I tell you, you know how long it takes me to put a Yeti order together on my own? 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was 2.5 hours, and maybe I got 2 products I wouldn't have ordered otherwise. Maybe.
But now can you do it again?
Yes. I tried. And so that's another answer. And I asked it, like, hey, you have all the data, you have all my sales data. I want to do Daiwa order, I want to do Shimano order. And I'm like, okay, this is 2.5 hours. I invested it. Now it's all figured out. Now I have the prompts. And so it says, no, I can't retain the data after you close the chat window.
Wait,
seriously?
was this Gemini or ChatGPT?
Yeah, Gemini Pro.
Gemini.
Pro.
Oh,
I need you to memorize this data. I try to hack it, right? Like, hey, I don't really need this relationship unless you have this data available for me for any of my chats and conversations, because otherwise we can't be together.
Does that not? It doesn't work like ChatGPT does?
I guess it doesn't.
Like, because you can have projects in ChatGPT and it retains that information for
correct.
ever.
Correct. but I don't know if it retains 40,000 lines of data. ChatGPT, I haven't tried yet.
You can upload documents to it and data to it. Yeah. It
But the
just sits
question is,
there. How
does it
much?
retain that data and integrity of data? Because the reason why I got excited and jumped on Gemini is because it was supposed to be better with data. Because ChatGPT falls apart for me. Like Gemini gave me hope, ChatGPT gives me no hope. Like the stuff it comes up with, it says this order is 99% you're gonna sell through this order in 60 days, and it's just a bunch of horse crap. Like ChatGPT is not lived up. So I use it a lot for marketing, you know, getting intelligence from large text, that kind of stuff, right? Everything you're doing, but not for data. Have you?
It's funny. I feel like I have the reverse experience because I used Gemini in the beginning, Gemini and ChatGPT side by side when I was doing all the startup like contracts and proposals and stuff like that for my company. And Gemini was like, they would give back the worst answers, like not even like following my prompts, like just complete crap. And ChatGPT was good. So I've always gravitated towards ChatGPT just because that was where I started. But I have heard that Gemini is getting better.
Well, the
So
new
I'm
version just came out. Nana Banana came out with a new version. Same that. It's like this thing is a
It was
week
like
old.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
When people actually watch this or listen to this show, probably going to be something else,
It'll be
right?
a new one.
But what people end up doing is, and I'm listening to a lot of people who are on the edge of this and investing in AI and stuff like that, and companies are using Anthropic for any kind of communication related stuff. They use Gemini for data, like they use different GPTs or different, I guess, AIs for different LLMs for different tasks. And
Right.
I
Yeah.
was hoping because GPT failed on data for me quickly. Because for me, it's easy to test. This is like, and this is maybe the takeaway for the viewers and listeners. Like, I have this retail shop, and everything
Hmm.
is so clear. Like, either that order is brilliant, or it's mediocre, or it's crap, and I can tell. Like I
Hmm.
know if it inferred like, hey, you should order these because things in Napa, those are the colors, and it did that originally. And then we asked to do when you see that the problem is like, I said, hey, give me a reasoning for ordering this SKU, right? This SKU, this color, and put that in the spreadsheet and put along with. And so I said, I told it how to design the spreadsheet, do it again. So it runs the same or the same it's the same order. I just added more parameters through a new prompt and it creates a new order. So I'm like, okay, so what happened to my last order that I thought was
It
good?
was almost there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then now it's like, Jesus. And all I did is I asked it to add two more columns and give
Yeah.
me the reasoning. Now, I guess it was afraid to give me BS reasoning. So it had to redo the order, come up with some reasoning that sounded good. Like
Yeah.
it's a forever spiral. Like it's a it's an I don't know if it's an adventure like Alice in Wonderland. It's like you go there, you stay there. I mean, it's just you got to wake up, man, and just go to work because this thing is
Yeah.
absolutely just round logic. Like it's just this child that spits out answers. Like, don't know, just do what you did. Just add this one thing.
Just do what you did. Yeah. And I've actually said that. I've been in this loop. I know exactly how you
It still
feel.
doesn't. And I love the confidence.
Yeah.
99% of the time, this solution works. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no 99% of the time, and you don't know what that means, and it doesn't work. And so
So have you done the like I do the voice version in my car and I have
all the time,
conversations with it
all the
and
time.
it like I'm like, no, go back to what you told me two prompts ago. And it like can't
Yeah.
compute. It won't go back and get the like almost perfect answer it gave me.
Yeah, and that's still for so in the car, I carry on have an hour commute to and from and when I go to the shop. And this is for me, same thing. I talk, but last conversation was last night I was going home. I was talking about picking up a new series, the book to read.
Mm.
Finished with the series I was reading, and I said, hey, I like Dick Francis, I like CJ Box. Can you recommend something similar, serious that blah blah whatever? I described what I wanted, and then we started talking. And it was very useful. It was very useful. From that perspective, it can do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really useful when I was wandering around Sydney and was asking it for suggestions and ideas and architectural insights and so on, then it was great. Yeah, super helpful.
That's really cool. So, we went to Italy this summer too, and it was just like without it, I don't know how I'd live. This translations, everything's so easy. But like when it comes to data, it and like its ability to be certain in its outputs. Okay, because why do you reprompt something and add one more dimension? Well, I guess you add one more dimension, it goes out and redoes everything, and everything like before didn't exist. Now it's all
Right. It does do that. And when you want it to do that, it doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, forget what we just talked about, try again, and it can't.
Exactly. And then, so to me, this is an example of, okay, my daughter's learning to play volleyball. Okay, so we pass this way. She knows how to pass the ball and set the ball. And so I say, hey, just use 3 fingers, not 5. And it would just forget everything, forget even needs to use the hands and actually catch the ball. But she'll use the 3 fingers, but like she'll miss the ball. It's like, whatever before we talked about is still relevant. It's not like you can't just lose it. And completely like, now I have to tell you, like, okay, use 3 fingers, but do touch the ball. And it's gonna do that, touch the ball, but it's gonna be sitting down. I'm like, no, you gotta stand. Right? And it's like never, and now it stands, but it forgot about 3 fingers.
Yeah. Now it uses 4 fingers.
This is how frustrating this is. So this was my report to you guys. Do not do what I spent half a day and my brain was buzzing. I was so excited. Here's all my sales history. I'm gonna just prompt it like, hey, give me a Yeti order for next 2 months. Done. Send it to the rep. It would save me 10 hours a week.
I wonder if is there a GPT out there or is there a platform we don't know about that does this better?
I'm sure it's being built and I'm sure it's being improved. And then when you take it back to the architecture side, AEC side of things, what we're trying to build, what we're starting to build for our clients or offer to build for our clients is what you described, but sort of a small portion of it. Like we want to have an agent that actually does and organizes all project communication into one space. That's it. It's one, like we don't want to do everything, but if we can help our architecture customers organize all the communications for a particular project in one space that is automagical, so they don't have to go and drop things there all the time, that's a big win. And
so I will tell you,
we didn't solve the AI question.
No.
What? What?
I mean, I also want to throw out there. So, do you know do you know what they're going to call success for AI? What they're saying is like the ultimate goal.
What is it?
You love.
I just opened a can of worms. Sorry.
At the end of the call.
And it's a teaser for the next call. He's doing great work here.
That's a very good question.
Well, so it's like that. So this podcast I've been listening to, they talk about that there's like, is it a bubble or is it not a bubble? And the whole conversation around whether it's a bubble or not is like, what is these companies that are producing all of these different LLMs and software for us to use, what is their ultimate goal? Like, when are they going to stop developing it? And the ultimate goal is for it to take over what humans can do, period. Take over humanity. So like, I forget what it's called, but like that is their goal. So it's like, that kind of scares the crap out of me. That is the goal. Okay. But they're a long ways away from it. But that's why they say the bubble, it could be a bubble, because they don't think that these companies, that they're pouring all this money into it with all these high hopes that this is this like goal that they're not going to be able to achieve. So that's why they're talking about it in this. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's like the .com bubble, that there was like these big high hopes for that, pour a bunch of money into it, and then if it doesn't do what they said it would do in the time period that they thought it could do it, that's when the floor drops out, financial wise.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. So I hear very similar. So what I guess like a tail.
General intelligence, AGI.
That's AGI, and that's Like AGI is ultimate goal. I don't think it is. It's not. You just said this at the beginning of the podcast. If AI wasn't there, we'd only get here where I'm here in 5 years. Isn't that already
It's
like
success. Yeah,
mind-blowing outcome?
for sure.
I think we're just a bunch of spoiled children running around here wishing for things when we get so much already, right? For
True.
$20 a month, what do I need it to do to just like run my retail shop for me for $20 a month? Not gonna
Right.
happen. I think it's wishful thinking.
Totally. I just thought it was interesting that is like that AGI is that conversation in itself, it was mind blowing when I heard them talk about it. I was like, that is their goal. Like, I would want the goal to be like to still have us involved.
I think the ultimate vision of it that I see, that the good side of it would be that the AI agents and the general models will do all of the heavy lifting, all of the, all the nuanced and unpleasant kind of work. Like for example, if I'm really good at math, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to do that, right? Or if I'm really
Yeah.
good at marketing, that's all I want to do, right? I want everything else done for me.
Yeah.
And I think if it does, that's gonna be amazing. Another amazing thing is humanoid robots that wash dishes, walk dogs. Nobody's brushing my dogs. Like I don't have time to take them to a damn, it's like the hairs everywhere around the house. Like, okay, my little vacuum cleaner robot, it's not robot. It's like the thing is bumping everywhere like a dumbass, right? Eating cord. And like it gets full all the time. So you have to like I need a robot that just goes and brushes my dogs, cleans up after them in the backyard. This is what I do every day. I pick up poop, and so I hope it's two dogs. You know how much they produce? Yeah,
It's a lot.
a bit, a bit. And so anyway, yeah. So I think that would be groundbreaking, right? If we get someone. Another thing, I'll tell you. One last thing. You guys get me going. This is what happens. I just don't shut up. But like I have
I'm
two girls,
sorry.
right? I have 14, I'm sorry, 16. They're growing up so fast. 16 and 12, okay? I don't feel comfortable sending them to school or elsewhere on with
Mm,
with Uber drivers. Who knows?
yeah.
I don't know. They're vetted, they're checked, but I would send them with Waymo or
Hmm.
a driverless car. It will relieve me to no end, right? When and Waymo's already, you guys around San Francisco, there's a lot of Waymos everywhere.
Oh, I love them. They're in LA too.
Perfect. Yeah, they haven't
Yeah.
made it all the way out to East Bay yet, but they're expanding San Mateo now. Like they're expanding, and I can't wait. Like that will change. That will give us so much more time because now we can send the kids to mall or whatever. Because then weekends, I'm ferrying kids around, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what we're doing. So I would say besides AGI, we have a lot more to look forward to, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
all the money that they're investing in the infrastructure, at the end of the day, a lot of it, or most of it, is raised for build out of data processing centers. And uh, it's hard to call this a bubble in my view, because it's already accomplishing so much. But you're right, given the investment, like it better do a lot more.
I mean, so it's interesting.
Mm.
This guy, you got to listen to that podcast I told you because he has
All
a
right,
good
I've
one
got
on
it.
this.
Yeah,
And he's basically like, they need to actually become two separate things because it's kind of like, yeah, the .com whatever bubble burst, but we still got the internet and it still is like affecting our everyday lives. Like it didn't fail. It just didn't do what they said it would do in the time they said it would do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Webvan. I don't know if you heard about Webvan. It was back in the 90s. This was the first company that did free delivery of grocery. Like this was a most amazing
It's
thing ever.
called Webvan.
Webvan, yeah. They became huge. They built the fascinatingly automated lines to sort groceries and to deliver like those photo sensors back then. They invested billions. I mean, it was crazy. And they crashed so hard and they burned so out. Like it burned a lot of other companies. I think they started the dot-com crash, Webvan, yeah. And this was like, that's it. You'll never have to go to a grocery store again. Grocery stores were shaking. Like, oh my God, nobody's gonna come in. Free delivery anywhere. in an
That
hour
would've
and a
been
half
great.
or something. It was crazy good.
Yeah, I love
Of
that. I
course,
mean, Amazon kind of did it eventually.
it took 15, 20 years to
Mm.
actually execute, but it was too early. So yeah, I mean, we'll see people crash and burn in this space, but everything's moving so fast. I think we do it in 2 weeks.
Fast.
We're already gonna have
Yeah.
different opinions on stuff.
Totally. We're gonna have a new tool to look at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring an infographic from Nano Banana.
Yeah. All right. So we can do this episode once every couple of months. I think 2 months is long enough to actually get some exciting improvements or talk about some fails that we had with AI. I think we should do it every couple of months just to, just to stay on the edge, stay on
Mm.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all of you who are still with us, we appreciate you. We wish you happy holidays. If you are listening or watching this in the time of December, happy holidays. It's a fantastic time of the year. I want to thank my co-hosts, Liz and Megan. So thank you very much. If you guys guys and gals, if you need help with IT, it's getarchit.com. If you need help with BIM, it's aurorabim.com. All right. Thank you very much for watching.